Hello, hello, hello. Super excited to be with you guys today. I'm going to get started in just a minute. Just want to make sure that I'm live on all the platforms I can be live on. And I'm really excited about talking to you guys today. We're going to be chatting about the Clubhouse lawsuit and what you should know and how this applies, or not applies, but what you can learn for your business. I think if you know of any business owners that have a brand, meaning you do business under a particular name. So you own a business and or you are someone who you don't consider yourself a business owner, but you sell products and services under a particular brand name, then you should be leaning in, tuning in, etc. So I'm really excited about this. Tag all your business owner friends. Make sure they're here for this recap. I'm going to go through number one, what the lawsuit is about, general terms, and then we'll talk about what you can learn for your business. So this is perfect for entrepreneurs, business owners, anyone who's selling products or services under a brand. And this is exactly why we us lawyers out there, harp on protecting your name. So I'm going to give you guys some tangible tips to protect your name, what you should be thinking about, what you should be doing. And this will be shareable immediately after. I don't know if it's shareable now or not, but it will be shareable immediately after we're done recording. But feel free to tag all of your friends and I will make it shareable as soon as possible. So to start, my name is Ashley Nicole Kirkwood. I am an attorney. I'm the founder of Mobile General Counsel, which is a law firm. I also own a brand called Speak Your Way to Cash. Both of my brand names are registered trademarks, and we're always expanding our IP portfolio. Mobile General Counsel is a law firm that represents business owners. We have an amazing team at Mobile General Counsel that loves protecting businesses, just like many of you watching. You can learn more about Mobile General Counsel at mobilegeneralcounsel.com. I absolutely love the firm and the clients that we represent, and we represent people building big brands who want to do so in a way that doesn't end them up in the papers, like what we're going to talk about today. Okay, this live stream is where I'm going to discuss. I'm going to break down the lawsuit from what we know now, and it's in the very, very, very early stages. Okay, very early stages. So in early May, there was a company that sued Alpha Exploration. All right, and the company that sued is SBS Consulting Group. Alpha Exploration, you may have never heard of, but their app you probably have heard of. Their app is the Clubhouse app, which has quickly gotten billions of users and has been almost like a safe haven for many people during the pandemic to connect in an audio format. So it's essentially an app. It's an iOS app. It's now expanded to Android, but it's an app where you can go on there and have all types of different conversations, network, etc. The company that sued, SBS Consulting, owns a trademark called the Clubhouse. Okay, so let's get the players together first. All right, we got a plaintiff, SBS Consulting Group. That's the formal name of the business. And then we got a defendant. The defendant in this situation is essentially, we're going to say for the purposes of this conversation to make it easy and flow smoothly, Clubhouse, the Clubhouse app, right? The company that owns Clubhouse. Now, SBS Consulting owns a trademark called the Clubhouse. All one word, all together. And if you go to uspto.gov, you'll quickly and easily find their trademark. Also, this is an interesting point because they talk about this in the case. If you go to uspto.gov, and I'm going to share my screen for those of you who are watching via, hold on, let me close out all these tabs, child. Y'all know I keep a tab open, okay? I'm going to share my screen with you all to show me this, because one of the things that's alleged in the lawsuit, and it's essentially the lawsuit is for trademark infringement. So what they're saying is Clubhouse, the app, is infringing on a federally registered trademark that they own. They also bring several other federal and state claims. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people talk about trademark infringement, like, okay, if someone violates my trademark, I can sue in federal court. Here's what a lot of people don't talk about and don't know. Oftentimes, when a plaintiff is bringing suit in that initial complaint, okay, and I have the complaint printed out right here because I done read the complaint. This is the complaint, all right? When a plaintiff brings suit, a part of the strategy and y'all know I'm a former trial lawyer, okay? So a part of the strategy that goes into what we're going to sue for is like, all right, there is typically something that is really irking the plaintiff that they're going to sue for. But strategically, there may be reasons and a basis at law for them to bring a variety of other claims against the defendant. And because trial work and suing someone is as much, I think it's strategic. I think it's primarily a strategic venture in a lot of instances. So it's very strategic. You want to make sure you're bringing everything that makes sense from a strategic perspective against the defendant in that initial complaint, okay? And so what they did in this initial complaint is they brought several claims against Alpha Exploration, AKA Clubhouse, which is what we're going to call them. And the first thing I want business owners to learn about this and to know is that if you violate someone's trademark, they may have any number of claims against you that are tangential from that initial infringement. What does that mean? Well, they are suing them for trademark infringement, and then they're bringing a common law trademark claim against them, and then they're bringing state law consumer fraud claims against them, and they're bringing state law claims for unfair competition. All right? So there's a variety of things. It's not just about, and so what I want business owners to realize from this is, and just because someone sues you doesn't mean they'll win. I'll say that, right? Doesn't mean the claim has merit. It has to go through the system, and it's a process. It's a very long process. But one of the things I want you all to take away right off the bat is when you don't protect your brand, you are leaving yourself exposed not just to one claim, but to a variety of claims. All right. So in this complaint, the headline is, SBS Consulting is suing Alpha Exploration, AKA Clubhouse, for trademark infringement, but they're also suing for a variety of other claims. Okay, most of which are stemming from the underlying trademark infringement. Hey, Andrea. And so here's what we're going to do first. So first, one of the things they say in the complaint is like, look, had these dudes just done a search on Clubhouse, they would have found our mark. So let's see. This is a basic search. If you're joining me on Facebook, you just saw that I did a basic search. So if you want to see what's going on, y'all like, I'm not getting the whole picture. Go on Facebook, go to the Mobile General Counsel Facebook page, and you'll see the video there. But a basic search pulls up a variety of different marks, all of which have Clubhouse within them. Now, let's stop there. How long did it take me to do that search? And let's see what I find. Okay. Now, when you do your search in test, you'll see the serial number. That means that an application has been filed. But on the next column, it's something called reg number. That means an application is actually registered. What came up for me when I did the search was like number 26 says the Clubhouse right here. Okay. How long did that take us, guys? How long did that take us? What we gonna say? About 2 minutes? Let me go back. Less than a minute. It took between 1 to 2 minutes, and it immediately came up. Why? Because Clubhouse, that term is 100% included in the registered mark, the Clubhouse. All right. And what's it registered for? These numbers right here, 35 and 41, those indicate the categories for which it is trademarked. So it's registered both for providing networking opportunities for individuals seeking employment. That's one, category 35, and then category 41, educational services, right? Now, here's the thing. This is what we're looking at, because trademark infringement deals with a couple of different things. Andrea's like, oh, wow. Yes, like 2 minutes, right? So much. I have so much to say about why they didn't. And as of the date of the filing, they did not own a trademark, nor had they, I believe, even filed for a trademark. And it's not too late for them to do that. And I haven't searched to see whether they filed as of the date of this recording. Just putting that out there. Here's the thing, though, guys. If these two brands didn't have anything in common, it would not necessarily be trademark infringement. Okay. So if they had nothing in common, it wouldn't be trademark infringement. But now you're wondering, okay, well, what is their brand? All right. So the Clubhouse is, and in their complaint, and let me see if I'll see if I can even pull up the complaint to show you all if I can. We'll see, because I'm doing it on the fly. So we'll see what happens. All right. So in their actual complaint, what they talk about and what they say is that they are a brand that is they have like a networking platform primarily in the sports arena. But what they allege is that when you go on Clubhouse and you type in networking for sports, or you type in sports, you find a variety of clubs and a variety of rooms that are affiliated with networking, etc. And so there's clear overlap. They also allege, okay, stay with me because this is some deep stuff, okay? As a lawyer, I'm reading this complaint like, woo, child, okay? Because they also allege, and let me see if I can pull it up for you guys, first of all, just so you all can see all the goodness in this complaint. I went through a lot to pull up this complaint. Let's see if it'll let me pull it up on my screen really quick. Because one of the things they allege is that not only is there the potential for confusion in the marketplace, but they allege that there has been actual confusion in the marketplace, meaning that they have had customers or mentors of theirs that would otherwise be working with them. They have actually had people say that they were legit confused. Okay, so we got the complaint pulled up. All right, now we're getting juicy. We're getting all into the details of this. What I'm showing you all now. All right, I'm showing y'all behind the scenes stuff. Okay, what I'm showing you all now is the actual complaint that this company filed against the Clubhouse app. You'll notice that in the complaint, these are all the pleadings, right? Ignore these little numbers, they just do that. But in the complaint, what they're saying to the judge, and this is basically the fact session, they're actually showing the court why there are similarities between the two brands. Right here, SBS, the Clubhouse, currently boasts over 190 mentors who each offer their services to members of the Clubhouse, which include participating in direct communication with members for the purpose of sharing advice. Now, when you are filing a complaint, and you want to win your case, right? The reason why everything you say has a reason. The way that they're posturing their brand, the way that they're describing their brand puts it almost directly against Clubhouse. It shows you the similarities. Look at this. They have all these members which participate in direct communication with members for the purposes of sharing advice, educational resources, and any other type of mentorship and assistance that is valuable from a networking standpoint. And then they have these little screenshots of examples. Educational webinars. Clubhouse. What do you do on Clubhouse? You share advice. You do all these different types of things. Like they're literally going tick for tack. And they even have examples from Clubhouse. Now, these are screenshots that they put in their complaint showing how the rooms on Clubhouse would directly conflict with their brand. Okay? Look, y'all, they're not playing. They're not playing. Now, I'm not saying they're going to win. I'm not saying any of that. And really, here's the thing. Drop in the chat me if you've ever even heard of the Clubhouse, because I'm going to explain another trademark theory to you all. Drop in the chat me. Okay, I'm not seeing no me's. Now, drop in the chat me if you've heard of Clubhouse, the audio app that we've all been raving about and utilizing for the past several months. So if you've ever heard of Clubhouse, drop me in the chat. Okay, and I know I'm going to see some me's come through. All right. Essentially, there is a trademark theory that says when a smaller company registers their trademark first, and then a huge company goes forward and registers their trademark, there can be this it's almost like, let me see, I don't want to get the name wrong for it, but what happens is there's a situation that occurs that essentially the lesser known brand can look like they're violating the trademark of the bigger brand, not because they are, but because the larger brand has put all this money into advertising and to marketing that they're essentially diluting the smaller brand's legitimate interest in the trademark. Okay. So what that means is if I own a small business, right? But let's use this as an example. This will bring this concept home. Let's say before the Apple that we all know, I started a phone company and I used the tech company, phone company, etc. I called it Apple. No one knew who I was, but I owned the trademark for it. And then the Apple that we all know came into the market, flooded the market with advertising. Anyone who saw my stuff would think I'm infringing on Apple. But in reality, if I was the original trademark owner, they were infringing on me. So it hurts my brand for a variety of different ways. And if you can show that the more established company should have known or knew about your trademark, then that's a trademark theory that you may be able to recover damages under. All right. And that's kind of what's happening here. They are well known in the field that they work in the sports field, but there's significant overlap between what they do and what Clubhouse is doing. That's what they're alleging. So, and they're asking for damages. and they're asking for damages. They want them to stop using the name, and they ask for really all relief available under the law. Now, what can you learn from this? What can you learn from this? Because although this is a juicy story, we got to bring it on home. What can we take from this? What can we take from this? Here's what I think every business owner should take from this. And I'm getting some questions. So if you have questions, let me know. One of the questions is, wow, so I should apply for my trademark prior to launching my business/brand or just do a Google search? All right, great question. Excellent question. One, what my clients do, okay, because they smart, all right? The clients who work with us, as we have a legal subscription program. So clients are on a monthly retainer or a monthly subscription plan with our law firm at various levels. These clients have money in the bank and they're paying us monthly to make sure their legal stuff is handled. They get a certain amount of projects per month. What they do when they know they are going to launch a new product, they come to our firm first, let us know that name, we run a quick search, and we do a risk analysis. So we're going to let them know whether or not that name is viable. We do it based on percentages because nothing's ever 100% certain. So we can say, no, looks like someone else is using that. No, that doesn't make sense. And if the name is available and they plan to use it in a short period of time, we will file. There's a trademark application you can file that lets the trademark office know, I may not be using it yet, but I'm about to use this name. I have every intent of using this name within a few months. So I'm going to file my trademark application right now. And there's a lot of strategic benefits to doing that. The United States is a first to file jurisdiction. You may have some common law rights to your trademark, but to get federal rights to your trademark, you need to file a federal trademark registration. And what I mean by that is, like, if you want to enforce your rights in that mark in federal court and say other people can't use it and show proof that you own it, and you want to be in the trademark database that we went through, you need to file your stuff first. So if you know you're going to use a name, you're a couple months out from launch, or maybe even a little more, it may be a strategic decision that you need to make with your attorney to file your trademark right away. Register early. Do not wait. Do not wait until you have billions of users and your business is going well. And to me, it's almost a sign of a lack of faithlessness in your business to just operate without a trademark. So like, oh, well, I don't need a trademark because, I mean, this business, who knows? This business may not do nothing. No one's going to come for me. No one's going to sue me. And the fact of the matter is, people will sue you. They will. They don't got no problem suing you. And especially businesses that have invested a lot into their brand. And this particular brand, although not well known, has relationships with various major sports teams and, NBA, NFL, NHL. And so they talk about the elite nature of the people that they do business with. So it's not about whether or not you're famous, etc. It's about, did you build the brand? Yes. Do you want other people using your name? No. So then you're going to protect the name. Now, that's it. Like, number one lesson, register your trademark early. Okay. And you can work with Mobile General Counsel to do that, of course. So number two, second lesson, you got to police your mark. You have to police your mark. Once you get that registered trademark, once you are like, okay, this is my brand, you need to not allow other people to utilize your brand name. It is a serious matter. And to be real, this is just the cost of doing business. As an aside, trademarks that you own, when you own, like if you have an IP portfolio, like a real portfolio, you have several trademarks that you own and they're owned by your company and everything's set up correctly, that becomes an asset of your business that gives additional credence and value to that business upon sale. And when you own it, you can license it, you can do all these creative things with your stuff. But if you don't own your trademark, it becomes a huge liability and you may have to change your name and do a rebrand. It is always, in my experience, working with clients over the years, it's always more expensive to go back and get your stuff in order than it is to get your stuff in order at the outset. Sit down with a lawyer. Now, our legal audits, I think they're like under $400. You'll meet with a member of the Mobile General Counsel team. They'll walk you through copyrights, trademarks, and contracts that you may or may not need in your business. They'll send you an email with a recapitulation of everything that we discussed, and then you'll know what you need to do next. And if you decide to work with Mobile General Counsel, then awesome. We'd love to have you. But if you decide to go somewhere else, you at least know what you're going to do for your business. And here's the thing that I want you all to keep in mind, because this isn't something I talk about a lot because Mobile General Counsel is a great business of mine. I'm the founder of that business. Thankfully, we have an amazing team, so I don't have to work day to day, every day of my time in the business. But one thing I don't hear people talking about is every lawyer is not strategic. One of the values of Mobile General Counsel is that we like to have a strategic business lens towards legal. Okay, so that's very different than a lot of other firms. That requires me to train everyone who comes through my door on both business acumen and legal acumen. And it requires me to ensure that they know they have to understand the business models of my clients. One of the exercises I did with our associate is I was like, okay, great. There was a recon on all the Peloton bikes. Will that make the stock go up or down? And why? Explain it to me, because you need to understand. To me, you cannot be a strategic lawyer if you don't understand the markets, at least at a basic level of how they work. You can't be strategic if you don't know your client's business model. And for all of you out there that are like, all right, cool. I may work with Mobile General Counsel. Maybe they're a little expensive. I don't know if I can afford them. And you start looking at other firms. I want you to consider, 1, did your lawyer ask you questions? 2, were the questions thorough enough for them to understand your business? And 3, did they seem prepared? Okay. I know a lot about a business. Like if I'm about to do business with someone and they don't ask me any questions, I already know what kind of experience I'm going to get. You have to understand the business model. Here's the thing. This Clubhouse dispute, they were, raising money, really going hard and advertising this, even doing there's a part of the complaint that talks about they even did they did something special for like the NFL draft. And that is directly in the sports arena that this company has made a name for in the Clubhouse, with the Clubhouse brand. And so their strategic counsel, someone, if they even had it, because I don't know if they had strategic counsel from the outset, but one of the things strategic counsel does is they will sit down with you and say, okay, how you're trying to grow this? Okay, you want to make money from this? That money is unprotected if you do not have a trademark. When we're advising clients on what they need to do first, what they need to do second, what they need to do third, I'm like, okay, where is the money coming from in your business? I just ask, where the money at? Okay, the money over there, we need to protect over there first. Because unless you have an unlimited budget where you can write us a check for $150,000 and we go ahead and protect everything in your business, if we need to think about what we're going to do first, what we're going to do second, what we're going to do third, I have to look at where that revenue is, because guess what? When you're sued for trademark infringement, there is a possibility that they can come after every single cent you've made using their name. Why? Because you didn't own it. Let me give you this analogy. Guys. If I owned a store, I leave my store. I go on vacation. You know, I love a good vacation. I go on vacation. And Sarah comes into my store, breaks into my store and starts selling stuff in my store. Oh, no. Who owns that money? Me or Sarah? Who should have right to that money? Me or Sarah? It's very similar when you are doing business under another company's name that you don't own. You're going into their store, right? Follow me on this figuratively, right? And you're making money under their umbrella, under a name that they built, but yet you want to keep the coins. It doesn't work like that. And it's very disrespectful. And the way you check people in these business streets is with a lawsuit, okay? Like, I don't know if you all follow corporate lawsuits, but people file lawsuits, all right? And do not think that your business is too small to get slapped with a lawsuit. And at the point that you're slapped with a lawsuit, you haven't settled, you haven't answered the demands, any of that. You now have to pay lawyers to defend the suit. You have to respond. You're not going to be able to DIY it. The DIY train left. You know what I mean? And so you want to make sure on the front end, you're investing the money to secure the brand that you're building. Lots of people talk about legacy, but if you don't own that brand that you're trying to build a legacy on, then it's not going to work. Another thing, we've had clients come to us to review the trademarks that have been filed for them, and they weren't filed in the appropriate categories, whether that be because they didn't want to pay for them to be filed in multiple categories, or they didn't get good advice. But here's the thing. you want to make sure that when you file your trademarks, it is in all the categories that you're going to use the name in. And as you add to those categories, you need to update those trademarks. And update really is a misleading word. You may need to file an additional trademark for that name in the categories that you're now utilizing it for. You can't update it like go in and just add some stuff. That's not how it works. So you need to do what we do is a quarterly IP check at our company. And we realize, all right, every quarter we got to file new IP. We've come up with new names, new brands that we're using. Me and Chris are thinking about starting our own show. Like we may have some things that we need to file trademarks for. Every quarter, sit down and just do a checkup. Make sure your legal is still protected. So what I would recommend, someone says, this is so good. Thank you so much. What I would recommend you do is book a legal audit today. Book a legal audit today. And you can do that at mobilegeneralcounsel.com. And I will even go ahead and just show you how to book a legal audit. It's really easy. But I'll show you all how to do that so that you can do that now. Because it's going to be important. So you want to make sure that you are booking a legal audit. You want to have strategic counsel. You want that counsel to actually know not just what they're doing, but just have a strategic lens so that they can better protect you. So you're going to go to mobilegeneralcounsel.com, click on legal services, and then you will just go to book a discovery call here, and it'll give you times that you can actually book your legal audit. And right now it's a special rate. It's only $347. And during this legal audit, look at these times, okay? During this legal audit, we will actually go through the contracts and the other things that you have in your business that need protection. If you use the short link that's listed on Facebook or on YouTube, make sure that it is case sensitive. So bit.ly/MGC talk, and MGC and T are all capitalized. So mobilegeneralcounsel.com is the website you can go to book a consult or a legal audit with our firm. It's also in my bio on Instagram for those of you who are joining there. But yeah, so essentially we talked about the lawsuit that was filed against the Clubhouse app that we know, and it was for trademark infringement. There's another company that owns the Clubhouse, all one word, and they feel that Clubhouse is infringing. Right now, only the complaint is filed. Experts are split as to whether or not the claim will succeed. And oftentimes when it's a federal case, a lot of them do settle. They don't go all the way to trial. And so we'll see what happens, but I'll be following it and I can keep you guys up to date on what's going on to the degree that I see the updates coming through. But we are going to be following this because it's a pretty interesting case. The 3 takeaways for you all though, number one should be book your legal audit with Mobile General Counsel. That's number 1, okay? If you've never talked to a lawyer about your business, or you've talked to a lawyer, but you don't think they were strategic, or you're not comfortable that you were protected, or at the time you talked to the lawyer, you didn't have the assets to invest in making sure that you were protected, you wanna go and book your legal audit. That's number 1. Number 2, that's link in my bio, or go to mobilegeneralcounsel.com. Number 2, register your trademarks early. And one business may need several trademarks, meaning you may have one business, but you have a variety of different brands that you do business under. Each individual brand may need a trademark, and they may need it for multiple categories. So you want to book a legal audit with us, and we'll be able to walk you through, find out what you're doing, and see whether or not there are services that you need in their areas where your business is unprotected. Number 2, after you have a trademark, police your mark. Do not let people utilize what you have worked for and registered. Police your trademark. So if someone's using it, you may need to file a cease and desist. That's the first step. Oftentimes, that's the first step. There may be strategic reasons why you go straight to a lawsuit, but those are considerations and strategies that you're going to talk through with counsel. Number 3, avoid infringing on anyone else's mark, okay? Here's the truth. Some of you may have people infringing on your mark, but some of you may be infringing on somebody else's stuff. Okay, so I don't know which seat you're in, but if you do not own your trademark, it's very possible that you are infringing on someone else's mark. And let me put something on your mind. Thousands of trademarks are filed each and every day. So each and every day that you don't have a trademark is another day that you could be infringing by the next day, okay? So you should be filing for your trademark. If you cannot afford an attorney, do it. It's better to, if you can't afford an attorney and you have to do it yourself, we have the Get the Tea on Trademarks course that you can take and try to do it yourself. It's 50-50 on whether or not you'll be successful. Most people who DIY their trademark, just general stats, 50-50 on whether or not they'll be successful. That goes up way higher when you work with competent counsel, over 80%, right? And so you want to make sure that you're putting yourself in the best position to succeed. I don't recommend you doing it yourself, but that's better than doing nothing, okay? But you got to avoid infringement. And if you don't know whether you're infringing, here's the other thing. I'm going to just say this because we're almost at time. Your metric for infringing cannot be any of these things, because this is what I hear. I'm gonna just tell y'all what I hear. Oh, I invented this. No one else is using this name. I didn't tell anyone about this name. Ma'am or sir, or however you would like to be identified. That is not a metric. You have to look at the USPTO.gov database. You need to search Google. You need to search Twitter, Facebook. You need to search far and wide, because there are people who innocently use a name that someone else is using, okay? So that cannot be your metric. The other thing that can't be your metric is I did a Google search. Nah, that's not how it works. And even after you're doing that Google search, if you didn't file for your own trademark, you're leaving yourself exposed. Okay. Every dollar you earn under a brand name is exposed when you don't have a federal trademark. It is also exposed when you don't have binding contracts signed by both parties. Okay. So you want to be very careful doing business, because a lot of people brag about the bag, but if you're not protecting it, then you're leaving yourself exposed. Okay. So make sure that you're taking these things seriously. And I want each of you watching, because we have a good amount of people on here today. I want each of you watching to consider this your PSA from above. Get your legal audit, get your stuff protected, get your trademarks, make sure you have contracts. You're not watching this today because it's not by chance, right? You're watching this for a reason. And what I find is that when you learn more, you're responsible for more. So I wouldn't be surprised if in the coming weeks, this information comes back to your remembrance. Book your legal audit. Let someone go through with you and make sure your business is protected, and or show you the holes in your protection plan so that you're able to earn your money, keep it in your pocket, and avoid these types of situations. All right. So let Clubhouse be an example to all of you business owners watching. You do not want a complaint in federal court filed against you. The other thing, this complaint is actually filed in Arizona. One interesting thing to note about that little tidbit is that it's filed in Arizona. They do business online. So essentially, they've had various touch points with Arizona, which is how they decided to file them there. That's just something to consider. For a lot of you who do business online, you have to comply with a variety of different states' laws because you do business globally. There are a lot of benefits to that, but also some risks, okay? All right, so hopefully this was helpful. If it was helpful, just drop helpful in the chat. Tag an entrepreneur who needs to see this message. Share it with a friend once I make it shareable on Facebook. And thank you all so much for joining. Again, click the link in my bio if you're watching on Instagram to book your legal audit, or go to mobilegeneralcounsel.com, click on legal services and click book a consult so that we can see where you are exposed. All right. Thanks so much, guys.